think I might have gotten some of my problems sorted out. I think I might have got some of the problems that I had earlier with the stream was having a lot of problems. The second I would go live, I might just rename this. No, I'm not gonna rename it. I'll just keep it the way it is. I just need to complain about technology for a second, because I didn't have a clue what was going on, and I didn't have a clue why. The second I went live, all of my like quality and everything, not quality, but the second I would go live, my computer would just chug super slow, and the internet would slow down too, just in an insane amount. I could barely even open another window to do a speed test. And when I did get the speed test done, I normally run like 90 down, 25 up, and I was chugging down to like, what was it? Was it like 15 down, 0.9 up? It was crazy. Like, just, and I don't know why either. It was like the second that I hit to go live, the second that I went live on OBS, it went from, like I said, like 90 down, 25 up, to like 15 down, 0.9 up. It was crazy. The music that's playing in the background right now, which let me check the levels right now. The music that's playing in the background right now, I have it set to play on, it's from a YouTube video. I just have it in a separate window. But I had that playing at like 360p, and it was stuttering so bad. It was stuttering because the internet connection was so bad. I anticipate it was probably just because I was running the Ethernet port through a USB 2.0 adapter into USB, but then I was running that USB adapter, that Ethernet to USB adapter. I was also running that through a splitter, a four-prong splitter, which is what my external hard drive, my mixer, my mouse, and my camera are running through. Because I had tried earlier tonight to actually stream some Forza, and I had my capture card, or my not capture card, but I had my what is that called? Game capture? Elgato game capture. I had that plugged into my other USB jack. I didn't realize that I didn't need that for the just chatting stream, so I just unplugged that, and there's a lot of like small upgrade things that I need to do. It's a lot of small maintenance things, but that pretty much, I hope this is recording, because OBS shows it's stuck at 1 second. I hope this is recording, even if it's not, kind of no big deal. I wanted to kind of test to see what I could do in this, because streaming is always something that's really attracted me, but I've never really been able to do it. I think I did one stream it might be on my current YouTube channel, it might be on my old channel, but I did one when like Horizon 4 had pretty freshly come out. But other than that, I'd pretty much not done a whole lot of anything with Twitch. I still had this account from back in like 2018, but I just needed to just complain about that for a little bit, because that was infuriating. I'm going to run another speed test real quick just to see where I'm at right now. Everything seems to be okay. OBS isn't posting any dropped frames or anything. However, it's still just stuck at 1 second on the recording, so I don't know what's going on there. I'm gonna run another speed test real quick. I'm pulling strong right now. 90 down. 90 down and 18 up. That's pretty dang good. 20 up. That's pretty dang good. That's way better than it was doing just a little bit ago. So the whole hook of this stream that I wanted to do tonight was because it was really difficult for me to link up my Xbox and stream, because I work off of a laptop, And it's not just a laptop, it's an HP Envy X360, which is a phenomenal, it's a great laptop. It's one of those that folds into a tablet and it's touchscreen. It actually has a really nice touchscreen. I've got the Bamboo Ink stylus as well. Highly recommend that if you got a touchscreen laptop, especially these HP ones, because it works really well, really seamlessly. The only thing that's better than it, honestly, is the Surface Pen, or whichever pen comes with the Surface. The Surface Pen is just a little bit smoother, doesn't glitch quite as much, but the Bamboo is a phenomenal pen. But as you can imagine, this computer is not set up to stream or game or do any of that if I'm just running Minecraft on here. No streaming, no internet, just single player Minecraft. It's chugging at like 25, 20 FPS. It's not built to do heavy duty things. It works great for what I need it. What just happened to the that's window down there? It works great for what I need it, which is just writing and drawing. But doing anything that is a little heavier lifting, it's not a fan, not at all. So hopefully the major hurdles have been jumped over, because the whole hook of this stream is I'm a car guy. And I just wanted to kind of just browse the internet a little bit about what new cars. And I'm just gonna go straight to was it Kia or was it Hyundai? It was Hyundai, wasn't it? Hyundai. And I realized that there's like 2 people watching, which, dude, 2 people for like the first live stream I've done in months. Hey, thank you. That's great. That's awesome, actually. So thank you. Thanks for showing up. But I'm a car guy. I'm a car enthusiast, and I mean that's what I've got. I'm in the automotive industry by profession and by education, and it's by trade. I'm in the automotive industry, so I can never stop thinking about cars and keeping up to date with them. And I just wanted to do a little internet crawl, just a little internet binge, I guess, a little prowl. Oh, I want to make sure that I updated the stream info, and I did Friday Night Internet Binge. That's basically what this is. But what I wanted to do was just cruise around here and just look at what the current state of the automotive industry, and not just that, but the current state of like what's going on with cars these days in terms of electrification and just cars are, what is that? What is that? Well, I'm glad that at least this thing is running. It's a little bit concerning that OBS is not changing the little ticker down there, so I won't know if I'm dropping any frames. However, everything looks to be going pretty okay. Everything looks alright. Venue, what was that electric thing? No, not the Kona. I've seen the Kona. Was it the Santa Cruz? No. Ionic. Oh, I've seen an Ionic. Have I seen a different Ionic? My sister has an Elantra. An old one. Actually, those older, so the thing about that's fascinated me about, I'm just gonna dive right into this, and just like the main point of this stream. The thing that's fascinated me about Hyundai and Kia these days is when I think, up until like a couple years ago, when I think of Hyundai, I think of cars like this. Not chopping images. When I think of Hyundai, I think of these things. I don't think of I think of just, not that they're a bad car, but that it's an economy car. It's an economy car from the early 2000s. You know, you can pick one up for like $2,000 in reasonably good shape with decently low mileage. They just weren't very good cars. Same with Kia. Kia, like a Rio or something, 2003, sure. That's what I think when I think Kia. When I think Kia and Hyundai, I don't think of these. These are world-class designs. I think that Kia and Hyundai have some of the best designs in the automotive world right now, period. The new Palisade, I have mixed feelings about, but the 20, when they come out, like 18 or something like that, the 18 through 21 Palisades look great. They look great. If they offered a hybrid model, I'd get one for my wife, because they look really good. They got tons of space. Excuse me. Only problem is that they don't come in hybrid. The new ones might actually. Let's investigate that real quick. But I never think of these kinds of designs when I think of Hyundai and Kia. I think economy car. I think the used car lot under the overpass, that nothing on the lot costs more than $4,000. But these, like the new Sportage, like the way they're doing, it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's a little bit overwrought. It's kind of over, by which I mean to the design. But it's interesting, and it looks like a premium product, and it's not something I expected from Kia or Hyundai. And alongside the Palisade is our best Palisade yet. It better be if it's the new one. Do you offer hybrid power in this? I would love to know. I wonder how bad the fuel economy is, because I think these have like a V6 or a Turbo 4. It might be a 2.5 standard, or Turbo 4s are really good these days. But I wonder with those smaller engines, when you're like towing a boat in these like mid-size SUVs with smaller engines, what does that do to your range? Because I know you can get, when I was working for Chevrolet, you would see 25, 27 miles a gallon with the cylinder deactivation. Excuse me. Which was just collapsing the lifters and disabling the injectors on 4 of the cylinders. Active fuel management or cylinder deactivation. You would see some pretty good, like high 20s fuel economy in some of the Silverados. But the second you hook up a trailer to that, it can't fall into cylinder deactivation. And as a result, you start seeing V8 fuel economy, like yesteryear's V8 fuel economy. Like at 70 miles an hour with the trailer attached, you're getting 13 miles a gallon. So I wonder what happens with these little turbo 4-cylinders and V6s that don't also have the added benefit of the low-end torque that a V8 has. That's kind of neither here nor there because I was talking about the design. But, like, look at this. This is a Hyundai? Like, the way the dash flows and everything. I really like the vents going all the way, like how the vents kind of like sweep from side to side. It's just like one long spear, I guess is the only thing I could come up with. But it's just it's very clean and very tidy looking. The steering wheel's kind of odd, but the center stack looks good too. I just gestured at the gauge cluster when I said center stack. The gauge cluster looks good too. I'm weirded out by how many screens are on vehicles these days, but I'm becoming more okay with it as time goes on. But the center stack looks very clean, very tidy. And then underneath here, I love these little flying buttresses they do, where it's, in a lot of these vehicles, you don't need a big trans tunnel, a big transmission tunnel like you did in previous years, where it had, big 4L60, 4L80E transmission, or a big Allison transmission and a giant hardware underneath there, which is what creates that big bump in the middle of the vehicle. You don't need that. And so a lot of these floors can be flatter because they're either just front-wheel drive specifically, they're only front-wheel drive, or the all-wheel drive system is just sending a small shaft to the back, and the engine's already mounted sideways, and so the transmission is already ahead of the passenger compartment. So it's interesting how you don't have to have that big bump there, so it opens up a ton more interior storage right here. And look, you can tell there's like 12 volt outlets there, like a cigarette lighter, which is hilarious. We still call them cigarette lighters, but the 12 volt outlet, and probably maybe even just like flat out USB ports, because that's all people use the 12 volt outlet for, really. But I don't expect this coming from this brand, because I would not like to give my information to you. I would like to see more pictures of these things as well. Where's your gallery? Where's your Galleria? Where's Jared? The Galleria of Jewelry. Okay, that might be all the pictures. But it's a good looking car, you know? Colors are really good these days too. The automotive industry went through a weird phase of just pure, I don't know why I said pure like that, pure blacks, silvers, and whites, and that was it. Like those are your options. And it's not like they're bad. It's not like they're bad options, but they're just kind of boring. We're getting a lot more like nice, pleasant, like the Palisade right here. We're getting a lot more nice, pleasant, like metallic blues and things like that. I think Hyundai actually in some of their, maybe the Kona, definitely, probably the Kona is the one I'm thinking of. Maybe the Veloster as well. I need to circle back to the Veloster. That new thing needs talked about. Those things are crazy. But I think in like the Kona, the regular Kona, and probably the EV one as well, they have like a really weird electric looking green. It's interesting, right? And it's not the same played out, you know, whites, silvers, and blacks, and then your premium colors is just a candy red and a metallic blue. Like, that's boring. They're bringing some different weird colors to it, and I actually appreciate what Dodge is doing by bringing back some of the callback ones, like Go Mango, and I think they brought back Lime Time as well. Interesting, cool colors from yesteryear that, frankly, the current generation of the car buying public doesn't know about, and so it's interesting because it's a novelty. A lot of people don't realize that those colors existed back then, and so it's just a cool color now. But I guess that pretty much just got to the point of what I was saying, that I don't expect. Yeah, the 22 Palisade. This generation of the Palisade. The new ones, I'm still on the fence about, but these look great. I think they have a really good design in them. I think the grille looks good. Those running lights, they're kind of like spear running lights. I think those look good too. Everything just looks very sleek and very modern, which is, one, not something I expect in a Hyundai, but two, it's not something you expect in an SUV or a crossover. Crossovers are generally, you know, for a lot of years, crossovers were, think of like a 2011 Traverse. It was kind of just a blob, and I have a hate affair with the V-body GM anyway, but these little family haulers aren't supposed to look this good. These are basically our generation's analog for minivans. Minivans are still around, but they're wholly outclassed by mid-size and full-size crossovers. Just the pleats. Just the pleats on the interior right here. My computer's about to barf when I click on this photo, probably. We have to click that. Oh, my computer's about to barf because it's not responding to me now. But just the little pleats on there is very nice. I want to see if... No, it's still not posting any problems. Page unresponsive. Great. I'm just going to close that one. Hyundais are pretty cool these days. Kias are even better. Oh, that's what I forgot to mention. The Hyundai... it's not the Tiburon. It's basically like a new age hatchback Tiburon. What are those things called? Veloster. The Veloster Turbo and the Veloster N are actually pretty hot little hatches. They're decently quick. They sound decently good too. I'm a muscle car guy, and so I'm not generally one for the 4-cylinder sounds, but it sounds good. The Veloster N sounds, I won't say it sounds like a rally car, but it sounds way better than the little rice grinders of previous years. And then Kia's. I mean, Kia had the Stinger. They discontinued the Stinger, I think, unfortunately, because the Stinger was a great car. It was basically the only full-size sedan that could put the pace on the Charger in the same price bracket. Obviously, like a lot of Audi's vehicles and like the C-Class Mercedes, especially the AMGs, like a C63 AMG sedan is basically a German Hellcat Charger, but it's in a different price bracket. And so the Stinger was the only vehicle that really put the pressure on the Charger in its same price bracket, where it was crazy performance, it sounded good, it had a really unique look. And it was cool because I think they both did the design, I think they both did their design job well, where the Charger is big and wide and it looks more muscular, whereas the Stinger was much more kind of understated, for lack of a better word, and it was a little more smooth, and it looked more like a four-door sports car, which is something that we throw around in the automotive industry all the time, four-door sports car. But it really tried to be, and it was, they discontinued it, right? It came really close. It came really close. They do still make it. Maybe this is the last year, or maybe this is just the previous year. But it's interesting, right? It's still a big car. I think the Stinger is technically on a full size platform. Like when you see one on the road, it looks as big as an Audi S7. But it's just genuinely a good little hot car. I think they were rear-wheel drive only. 300 horse and a 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder is crazy. Built to thrill. And 36,000. That's super reasonable. A V6 Charger is at probably at the same price bracket, is probably going to be slower to 60 than 4.7. Well, probably. I'll say I'll just Google that real quick. 22 Charger V6 0 to 60. How fast is a V6 Charger 0 to 60? 6. Sorry if I just peeked the microphone. Man. The only thing, I'm not gonna do that because that's gonna make my internet barf. The only thing I don't like about the Kias is their interiors can still be a little bit can be a little bit sub-premium, whereas the Hyundais have I think truly a world-class interior. The Kias can still tend to have that problem of having kind of a budget bin interior, which is kind of the Dodge problem. As much as Dodge has really great engines and great exhaust notes, and they know how to market, they know how to sell a product. Like their ads are, no one has more tire smoke in their ads than Dodge. The problem is with them and with Kia, they've got a great design, a great motor, and a great chassis. I guess Dodges don't have great chassis, but it still suffers from the parts bin, kind of cheapy feeling interiors. I do feel like Kia has the money now to invest into that. I don't know if Dodge is going to have the ability to improve their interiors, but here's hoping. What else does Kia sell these days? Seltos, that's an interesting one. My second Ranger was totaled by a Kia Soul. Oh, I just realized, sorry, I keep forgetting that this area of the, that this area is covered by my webcam. So there's a Seltos and a Soul over here. Carnival. Whoa, excuse me. I just burped down the microphone. Excuse me. The new Sportage looks interesting. That's the one with like the kind of the bat wing looking, or just I guess the little the greater than or less than daytime running LEDs. Kia Niro. EV6? Eve 6, like the band Eve 6. Nero family. It's interesting when they have one name that they use for several different product lines. I find that funny. Sometimes I find it insulting, like with the Mustang Mach-E. I think if they called that the Thunderbird or like literally anything else other than Mustang, people would be all over it. Because it's actually a pretty good looking SUV. Actually a pretty good looking crossover, but it's not a Mustang, man. It's not a Mustang. I don't know if a four-door crossover could ever be a Mustang. You want to make an electric Mustang? Have at it. I don't care. That'd probably be really cool. An all-electric Mustang with, like an instant torque all-wheel drive Mustang would probably be pretty cool. But putting that badge on a electric crossover, just kind of dorky. Same thing with the Eclipse Cross. Oh my gosh, it makes the Eclipse Mitsubishi. Same thing with the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. Just stop that. Don't do that. What am I looking at? The EV6. Innovation that inspires. It's got a weird looking face. The D-pillar kind of reminds me of a Chevy Blazer, the new crossover Blazer. A weird looking 310 all electric range. That's pretty decent range. I love that. It frustrates me because I want to just be a petrol head and just gasoline and diesel. It's amusing that these days an electric car can tout how much faster it is than performance cars. 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds, faster than a Porsche Cayenne Coupe. Cayenne Coupe? Hold on, I thought that said Cayman for a second. Cayenne Coupe. Oh, it's just called a coupe. It's not 4 doors, or it's not 2 doors. Cayenne Coupe. Cayenne Coupe. Cayenne Coupe. Come on, internet. You can do it. Oh, is this like a pre-order? Save now and down the road. No, never mind. Some of them are like reserve your new. I think they're doing that for the. They might have done it for the Hummer. I think they're also doing it for the electric Silverado as well. This Porsche page is not happy with me right now, or the internet is not. My internet is not happy with this Porsche page. There we go. Now you're doing good. Yeah, they just call it a coupe or a coupe. No, because it doesn't have the accent. It just be a coupe. 335 horse. Is this the? I thought all Cayennes had the V8. 335 seems to indicate that this has the Turbo 6. That Porsche puts in the Macan. If I'm pronouncing that correctly. Quintessential sports cars. What? What do you define as a sports car? This seems to be, to my eye anyway, it seems that it would be a point of hot, what is all of this? Model variants, they're okay. Turbo GT, GTS. E-hybrid, like the 918 layout. E-hybrid. Performance with hybrid technology. What do you define as? Oops, sorry, just bumped the mic. what do you define as a sports car? I see a lot of people, and Google will also define, like, if you look up a Dodge Challenger, sports car, call it a sports car. I don't call that a sports car. For me, a sports car has to be small, lightweight, usually a two-seater, like a Miata or something, like an MX-5 or a Cayman. Small, lightweight, not a lot of horsepower, but enough to have fun. Either a really good dual clutch or an exceptional, really good feeling manual transmission. Not a lot in the way of creature comforts, not a lot of vibration dampening, stuff like that, but in a way that doesn't feel harsh, in a way that communicates the road surface towards you. I'm basically describing a Miata or an MX-5. Sports cars, I always feel like, should be defined as something, or you should use the sports car designator for something that's much smaller, very good handling, much better fuel economy than other performance cars, somewhat smaller, two-seater, something like that, like a roadster. But I also think that roadsters should be separated from sports cars. Like the Z4, I think that like the Z4 Coupe is a sports car, but the Z4 convertible could be considered a roadster. It's weird. I don't know what the actual delineation is, but I don't consider the Mustang, Camaro, and Challenger sports cars. But that's what everyone calls them, and that might just be because that's what they're listed as in terms of like how they would be registered. Like if you look up a Dodge Viper ACR, I think it lists as a luxury car, whereas we would call that a supercar. Or at the very least, we call it a performance car with supercar performance. Dodge Viper ACR, American Club Racers, what that stands for, by the way. Luxury car, it lists as a luxury car. Which, yes, it is. You're living in the lap of luxury if you can afford to drop 6 figures on a Viper. But we in the car community don't refer to that as a luxury car. We would call that a supercar. What about like a Huayra or something? Oh, there's not one of the little quick little things on here. Sports car. Mid-engine sports car is what they call it. We would call that a hypercar. I think the delineation between hypercar and supercar is either exclusivity, level of performance, or kind of, I guess, uniqueness. I think the Huayra fits all of those categories, where it's very unique. The quality materials is said to be very good. I remember an interview that they were doing in 2014 about the Huayra. They were saying that the leather for the interior, for the seats, the leather was like 100,000 euros for the leather on the seats, because it was basically handbag grade. Like Mercedes AMG couldn't even order that grade of leather. I think that was Johnny Lieberman from Motor Trend who said that, which is fascinating. That I would delineate from a supercar into hypercar territory, because the attention to detail, the quality of execution of the materials and all that kind of stuff is so much at a higher vibration, it's just on a different level than an Audi R8, which is also a supercar. But I would elevate the Huayra and things like the Chiron and those crazy vehicles to hypercar instead of supercar. But back to the original, it's weird to me that they call these, like the Challenger, Mustang, and Camaro, it's weird that they call them sports cars, to me. I think they might even call the Charger a sports car. Why do you call it a mid-sized car? I guess because but you can also get a V6 and automatic in the Challenger, Camaro, and Mustang. Weird. I guess maybe because it's a 4-door, it's more everyday friendly, whereas there's a very clear performance aspect with the 2-door muscle cars like the Camaro, Challenger, and Mustang. Kind of weird. mid-sized car. I mean, it is a. I always thought that the Charger's platform was on a full-size platform, though, not a mid-size. Because when it came out, it wasn't it in terms of proportions and size of the platform? Wasn't it directly in line with the Taurus, the Ford Taurus? And the Taurus is the full-sizer, or was the full-sizer. Fusion was the mid-sizer. Focus is the compact. So, sorry, I kind of ran over my words there. The Taurus was the full-sizer. Fusion is the mid-sizer. Excuse me. And the Focus is the compact. I don't think the Charger's a mid-size car. I think it's in the full-size bracket. I mean, if you see one on the road, just like the Stinger, it looks like an S7, like an Audi S7 size vehicle. It's very, very large. I like them. I don't think I'd ever buy one or ever own one because I like the Challengers too much. Specifically, Orange Scat SCT pack. I love these things. They're great. Just a good-looking car. The 6.4 is a really strong motor. It doesn't RPM very well. It can be a little bit harsh at times, but it sounds very, very nice. It's got a really deep burble to it. I think that there's a very specific engine noise that you get from the LT in the Camaro and from the Coyote in the Mustang. Somehow, for whatever reason, the 6.4 in the Challenger just sounds deeper. It has just more bass to it. It sounds more rumbly, like it has a more barreled chest. I really like them. I think they're super cool. They've got a really great design going on them. Like this one right here. That's just a good looking car. Those are like demon wheels on it though. Dodge Challenger wide body RT Scat Pack Shaker 392 TA. Oh, that's those are different. Those are not all the same. I thought that was one vehicle name there, but it is not. I like Challengers. I actually like the S550s as well. I still have mixed feelings about the original, like the first generation of the S550. I still have mixed feelings about this design, but the facelifted version, the 18 and up, where they do they angle the nose a little bit more further, a little bit more forward. My goodness, they put a slightly different wing on it. The whole thing just looks a little has a little bit more edges to it and doesn't look quite as rounded. They put they put that little they put that in the headlight. Why are all of these tiny pictures? But they put that little like edge, that little cutout in the bottom of the headlight. I think those small little changes really made the car look a lot better. I think it now looks like a proper world-class performance vehicle, whereas the first generation of the S550 looked a little ho-hum, in my opinion. Now the GT350, you put that that bumper and the GT350R specifically, you put the R wing on it and that body kit and those you just lower it just a little bit with the paint colors and the stripes they have on it, especially the red, white, and blue package that they have on it, which is not a red, white, and blue package, but it's the white paint with blue stripes, and the blue stripes have red pinstripes outlining them. That's a good looking car. I think Ford has the better interior game out of any of the muscle cars as well. Sorry, I think I bumped the mic again. I think Ford has the best interior game out of any of the muscle cars. it looks more like a well, this one is not as great of a representation. This is a little better. It looks more like a premium product than the Camaro and the Challenger, especially the Challenger. But the Mustang just has, I've driven an S550. The only S550 I've ever driven, actually, it was a turbo 4-cylinder model, and it had the 6-speed manual. It was decently quick. It was actually pretty fun. But the big thing was the quality of materials in the interior. All the buttons felt very clicky in a good way. Like they had a very positive when you would use them. The shifter felt nice. It felt like a solid ball of aluminum. Even the reverse lockout, it has a collar reverse lockout where you basically it's got a collar around there that you pull up, and then to disengage the reverse interlock. Even that felt nice. It felt like a solid aluminum, I guess, bezel or collar around the around the shifter shaft. The start button felt good. For me, it was kind of a little bit too low right for me. I actually kind of like where Dodge and Chevy put their start button, which is more where you would anticipate, like the key in my 4Runner is up on the dash, just like straightforward like that. And that's where the start button on the Camaro and the Challenger is. It was a little bit too low right in the Mustang for me, but it still felt really good to use. It once again had a very positive click when you used it. It's also just an attractive interior. I think Ford has the best interior game of the big three in terms of their performance cars. That's not including the Vet. I'm a big Vet guy. I like Corvettes. I usually kind of like Camaros more, except for the late gen 6th gens. But what am I trying to look up right now? Like a 17 Camaro SS. Interior. Oh, I just looked up Camaro. I just spotted it wrong. It's a fine interior. It's just it doesn't scream premium automobile. It doesn't scream crazy quality. Like it doesn't scream this is a $50,000 ride, which is what it should be doing. Whereas in the Mustang, even the $30,000 car, it's still, because I think that's when that one's stickered for. That Turbo 4 that we had on the lot at the shop I used to work, the dealership I used to work at. I think that one's stickered for like 30,000 or something like that. But it didn't feel like 30,000 is like a lot of money. But these days 30,000 is more on the cheap end. It didn't feel like a cheap car. It felt more like a premium product. Whereas the Camaro, even the top trim, it's still kind of, I think it might be the layout, not necessarily the interior materials, but the layout is just a little bit odd. And I don't know. I've never been a fan of the 6th gen's interiors. The only thing about the 6th gen's interiors that I like is the temperature knob. The temperature knob is the vent bezel, like the ring around the AC vent. You turn that to turn the temperature. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool to hide that control in a place like that. Everything else about it, though, like I am actually not a big fan of the steering wheel either. I think the steering wheel looks really dorky. And then the Challenger is also, it just is, I don't know if maybe I've just seen it too much, but it just looks a little ho-hum. I do like how it kind of wraps around you. It very much gives me vibes, this is going to be sacrilege, but the way the dash panel kind of wraps around you like that very much gives me vibes to square body Chevrolets, 73 to 87 Chevrolets. How the dash panel kind of folds in around you very much gives me vibes from that because of the shape and the curves of it, how it kind of folds around you. Yeah, kinda, maybe, not really, but it's the closest thing I can get to. But I don't know what about it is. I don't know what about the Challenger's interior it is, but versus the Camaro and the Mustang, it just feels drab. And that's not to say that it's bad, but it doesn't feel as upmarket. I don't know why. I've driven a 2016 Scat Pack. It was like metallic gray or something like that, which I think is one of the most boring colors you could ever put on a Challenger. But I had the 6-speed in it, which I think is a Tremec. I think it's a version of the Tremec TR6060. But it was a great little car. I like that thing. I would definitely own one of those. I like Challengers. I like Challengers, man. I don't know what to tell you. I started this stream talking about like Hyundais and Kias and somehow wormed my way into talking about muscle cars. Because of course I did. Understanding that there's only 2 people watching right now. Give me just 1 sec. Let me give you something pleasant to look at while I'm getting. How about Porsche? I like Porsches. We can talk about Porsches when I get back. You like Porsches? I like Porsches. You want to talk about Porsches? Let's talk about Porsche. I'll put the Porsche main page on, and I'm gonna go get something more to drink. I'll be right back. I sound like one of the guards in, not one of the guards, Farkas in Skyrim. Or that dude that you fight in what's the crappy town? All of them, Markarth, where you're doing the Forsworn quest line. You have to fist. You have to beat him up unarmed, and when you beat him, he goes, "You mangy piece of pit bait." That's the voice I was doing just then, unintentionally. All right, I'm gonna get something to drink. I'll be right back. Give me just 1 sec. Greetings. I got something to drink. I'm a whiskey guy. I'm just having some I'm just having some The Irishman. I'm having some The Irishman, and I'm using my whiskey stones. You can see that as I just pour whiskey all over my computer. Whiskey stones. They're basically stone. What am I doing? They're basically stone ice cubes. They're very nice. I like them a lot. I haven't looked at the Porsche side in a long time. I like Porsches. I genuinely like Porsches. An all black 911. That's a sweet car. I should just look at 911's configured. No, I just want to see your. I just want to see the all series of models. There we go. 718. What is a 718? Is the 718 basically the Cayman? The Cayman. It is the Cayman. The 2016 Cayman GT4 in yellow is a sweet looking car. It's so cute and so like it's cute, but it still looks fast and it still looks. I really like it. And the fact that it's mid-engine instead of rear engine, and the Cayman has the it's basically a hatch, and it has that little space at the back that you can like a small little luggage compartment at the back. Oh, it's so nice. Perfectly irrational. Describes me perfectly. They're still using the exact same body style, actually. They are. That's a yeah. This is a good looking car. Oh, I really like that. I like Porsches. See, I would describe these as a sports car. I think these are a sports car. I don't think they're a luxury car. I don't think that they're a compact car. It's a sports car. And then the 911, depending on the trim, it's either a sports car or it's a supercar. You get one of the GT cars, that's a supercar. You get a turbo, that's a supercar. But the regular 911 Carrera, it's still just a sports car. It's a fast sports car. It's a sports car with a really good interior. But it's still just a sports car. And that's fine. That's fine. Integrated side blades, impressive. The wing with integrated side blades. That's not that. Unless they actually work, then that's unique. Just everything about Porsche, just all of the lines and everything looks so good. I forgot that the wing, obviously it would have had to been. I forgot that the wing was part of the hatch, but then obviously the hatch wouldn't be able to open. 360 exterior. What's this weird warehouse we're in? I do love the phrasing that they do for car advertisements, adverts, and all that kind of stuff. It's all very clever. It's all based on sensorial, and especially for performance cars. Oh, and you can still get it with a stick. Oh. The little side scoops here, I really like on this car. On a lot of cars, I can't see anything but SN95 New Edge Mustang. All of the Porsche people just flipped over their tables. But on this, they look good. On some cars, that side scoop just looks cheesy. This is a small thing, and some people will probably think it's incredibly stupid, but the strap pull handle for the door, I think that's really cool. Because it's different. It's different, and if you're paying $60,000 for a sports car that can only feasibly seat 2 people, because these aren't 4-seaters, are they? The 911s are 4-seaters, technically. The Caymans are 2-seaters. If you're spending halfway to 6 figures on something that is so singular, it only is a sports car. You can't really haul a lot in it. You can throw some golf bags and some groceries in there, and that's it. It better have some unique, as Papa Doug would put it, quirks and features. It better have some unique weird things, like a fabric door pull. It's cool, it's different, it's weird. It's also, I think what it actually is it's an homage to the racing heritage. It's an homage to the racing heritage of Porsche and the long storied history of Porsche vehicles and the racetrack. One in the same. It's not at all what I was trying to say. At one with the road. And here we see durable. That was the actual next thing to look at. The door opening loops. Oh, are those door pulls? Like you pull on that and that disengages the latch, and that's not the door pull. That's how you get out. That's even cooler. That's even cooler. Sold. I'm ordering one right now. JK, they're like 60 grand. Whoa. 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 Oh, it's a good looking car. This is another one where like the center stack is very clean looking. The screen integrates well with the dash, which is something that not a lot of manufacturers get right. The big tablet that's just sitting there on the Tesla, I can't stand that. It looks so out of place. It doesn't matter that it was designed to be there. I don't like it there. I don't like it in the new Rams. If you're gonna put a giant touchscreen in the dash, integrate it in the dash. Make it flow. Make it look seamless. However, the hip crowd that's buying Teslas probably wants it to look more like just a phone on a dock. So maybe it works. It's all about purpose of intended design. So maybe that actually works for what the design is intended to insinuate, which is not the word I was looking for, but that's the one we landed on. And we're gonna move on before I make an even bigger fool of myself. I also really like body color matching. Those are called seatbelts, Matt. Body color matching seatbelts. I really like those in the C8 as well. Is that carbon fiber? Is that carbon fiber, dog? Bro, you got carbon fiber on your seats, dog? $414 horsepower in this thing. How much do these things weigh? £3,200. It makes 414 horsepower. Look, I don't care who you are. That's fast right there. It's the same thing with the Hellcat. Everyone talks about how the Hellcat's not that fast because it weighs 4,400 pounds. 700 horsepower, 4,400 pounds or not, that's a fast freaking car. Even the Scat Pack, even the 6.4 model, you're telling me that 485 horsepower, even in 4,400 pounds, you're telling me that's boring and slow? I don't know, man. I think you might have some priorities that are a little irrational. 718. Is 718 the current? No, this is just the other Caymans. 911 is what I'm looking for. All series and models, dog. Oh wait, all series and models is just bringing this up. Yeah. Okay. What is the current body style? Is it the? It's not the 928. What's the current body style called? Is it the 997? The 997. No, that was the older one. What's the current one? 991. Yeah. Right? Is the internal designation for the 7th generation of the Porsche 911 sports car, which is unveiled at the 2011 Frankfurt Motor Show on some kind of date. I think these are still. I think the current ones are still 991s, right? Probably. I like 911s. I like 911s a lot. I think they're very pretty. I think that they go fast. I think that I'm gonna stop that before everyone throws flips tables. 911 turbos, man. Oh. And the GT cars. The GT wing, the new gooseneck wing, I get that it's way more practical and it's way more functional. I don't like it. It looks weird. I don't think the thing I like about the GT, the wings on the old GT models is that they flowed very well. You might notice that flow is a big hot point with me. It's a big hot point. Big hot point. It's a hot point. Is that what I'm trying to say? It's a hot point. Flow is very important to me in terms of design. Does it look like it belongs there? And it's not that it looks like it doesn't belong there, but it doesn't look like it flows and like meshes as seamlessly as the old wing. Swan neck, not gooseneck. Gooseneck is a trailer. Like, it looks good. It's just large slats. Large slats. Sorry, Schlatt. Just gonna move past that. What else can we look at? I like Mercedes AMGs. Let's see how we're doing. Still says that we're stuck at 1 second. It seems to be going okay. I've maintained the same viewers for this whole thing, and we've been going for about an hour 10. I should probably close out for in just a little bit. We'll look at AMGs first. I like nice things. As much as I really dig a rusty square body Chevy, or like a new edge, like a cheap new edge build. SN95 or S197, and an expensive S197 build too. I like nice things. I like AMGs, I like Porsches, and I like nice cars. I just like cars, man. I just like cars. Coupes. That probably sounded horrible to everyone who is listening. C-Class. C63 AMGs. I don't really think they've had a bad year since like 2013, 12, 13-ish, like that era. Maybe even 2010. They're good looking, they're relatively understated, and they go fast. I like them. Where is the AMG? There it is. Get out of here with that regular C-Class malarkey. Track record of track records. I don't know about that, Mercedes. Look at that car cover. You know what'd be really cool? I remember hearing about this with the new Vets. That like if you go down to Bowling Green, Kentucky and pick up your Vet, they have it like on a rotating, like on a I want to say rotisserie, but that's not the right term for it. But one of those like turntable things. They have your actual car sitting on the turntable. They give you like a tour of the Corvette Museum. They roll out a red carpet and like have like a celebration when you leave. And this is for a car that costs like $60,000. This is not for a Ferrari. This is not a Lamborghini. This is for a Vet. And I think that'd be so cool if more companies did that. More companies did that for their performance line vehicles. Torrential torque, finely metered. So it's just all-wheel drive and dual clutch. Excuse me. For all your driving moods. Dynamic. That's another thing I really like about AMGs, and even just Mercedes in general. Even just Mercedes in general. I'm gonna not do that ever again. All of the buttons and switches that would otherwise be plastic are aluminum. and they're a nice aluminum. They have a very nice positive click when you actuate them. They feel nice and cool to the touch. They're very smooth with just a little bit of knurling for grip. I really dig that. Mercedes, even Mercedes, the regular Mercedes as well, but AMG and Porsche get that so right. The things that you have to touch every day in the interior, like the shifter, the wheel, the volume knobs, the like all that kind of stuff, it's so important to get that right, because having a squishy, plasticky feeling button or switch amplified over the years that you're going to own that vehicle, it's going to feel cheap. But if it's made out of like quality aluminum, that's going to go a long way to justify that $70,000 price tag on that big SUV, that big G-Wagon or GL series, or the big C63 that you bought. That is where like some of the money goes. It's just the quality of the interior materials and the execution of them. Because you can have like an aluminum bezel or something, but if that positive click when you actuate it isn't there, it's still gonna feel like the regular plastic ones, and it's not gonna feel like a premium product. And when you're shelling out this many thousands of dollars for these cars these days, they should feel like premium products. It's road jewelry. I don't care if it's $10,000 or $6 million. It's road jewelry, and it should feel like what it is. Tipsy rants. I think I'm out. Toned muscle, tuned to you. That's an odd one. Oh, a gallery. Bi-turbo 4MATIC. That little spear of LED tubing going across there. Oh, the little vent right here just ahead of the front wheel well. They're just good looking cars, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's so weird when other car people talk to me, because on one hand, I like redneck things like Silverados and Challengers, and on the other hand, I like AMGs and Porsches. Oh, can I get like a full-size image of this? No, this is just bringing up the same thing. I can see it in the bar, yeah. But can I click on it here in the window? Oh, please don't die. This net is weird. That feels very budget. But the rest of it, once again, a very clean center stack. Clean. I don't like the dial soap. I don't like the dial gear shift selector. I don't like it. I don't like when they did. I don't like it when they did it to Dodges, for the specific reason that the reasoning from engineering why they switched to the dial Perndle, which is the park reverse neutral drive low. The reason they switched to the dial was because it's easier to use with gloves. Easier than the stalk, than the column shift, or even the Ford's console shift one. Yeah, the dial is easier. I guess the dial makes more sense than the console shifter from the Fords, because if you make it a dial on the center stack, or you make it a column shift lever like that, then you can free up the center stack and the center console and all that kind of stuff, and all that area for more storage, buttons, and things like that. Creature comfort, you know, put your HVAC there, all of that. But I don't know, man. I don't like the dial. I don't know why. It doesn't feel, it feels more. The reason I like, so I drove when my Ranger got totaled, I drove a 2010 Ford Fusion for a bit, and the console shift, not column shift, the console shift in that, when you tapped it over and put it into manumatic mode, which wasn't actual manumatic, it wasn't a dual clutch, it wasn't even a single clutch, it was just an automatic. Excuse me. but it gave you control over the electronic shift points, similar to how in an old vehicle that's controlled hydraulically and vacuum, that throwing it into low just gives you mechanical and hydraulic control over the valve body to tell it to hold into first gear and to not engage that overrunning rear clutch and just stay in engine in compression braking. Similar thing with the Ford Fusion, where the sport mode is just enabling compression braking. It's just enabling disabling the coast from the transmission. So instead of coasting and using that rear overrunning clutch, it's staying in that gear, and then like when you let off the gas, it doesn't just overrun and just coast and just transfer nicely. It stays in that gear, it stays holding it, and it transfers from acceleration to deceleration, and the whole thing just slows down because the gears are forcing it to slow down. The compression of the engine is forcing the drivetrain to slow down because the gears are now driving the engine. Completely different tangent, but it felt, for lack of a better word, I'm going to quote Angus McKenzie from an old Motor Trend article, sporty and familiar. It felt nice. Whereas you take that same transmission and you give me control with a knob, it doesn't feel the same. And even notwithstanding the manual capabilities, just moving from park to drive, just that, it feels good. Whereas just turning the knob doesn't feel as good to me. It doesn't feel like I'm driving a car. It feels like I'm playing a video game. And when I'm moving a 3,000-pound missile down the road at 75 miles an hour, I don't want to feel like I'm playing a video game. I want to feel that metal connection. I want to feel the weight and the heft there. That's another thing I like about these Mercedes, is that they feel like they've got heft behind them. When you rotate those aluminum knobs, it doesn't feel like cheap plastic, because it's not. It's aluminum, and it's nice, like billet aluminum too. They're very nice bezels and buttons. They're very nice bezels and buttons, and I really like them. I dig them. I think they're really nice. Because they've got that heft behind them that lets you know that there's some substance there. I'm probably, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. When this thing creaked, it probably just destroyed the audio. TLDR, I like connection to the automobile, and AMGs are awesome. Okay. This is going to be another live stream that I do, because I want to do this again, because I just love talking about cars. This is going to be another thing that I do. I might pregame it, because talking about cars and going on rants when tipsy is really fun. So I'm probably going to close out for the night. Thanks everyone for showing up. This was a lot of fun. I'm definitely gonna do this again. I think I have finally figured out my stream errors and why I've been having such bad quality. Sorry to everyone who showed up and then immediately bailed because things were either shaky or something like that, or just generally overall not good. I'll leave you guys with a nice pretty picture as I close out. But thanks everyone for showing up. I'll definitely do this again sometime very soon, maybe even tomorrow. If I get all of this sorted out, or I have it down pat, I'm going to do a stream schedule. That schedule will be released later on. Because I don't know what the schedule will be. It could be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Could be Tuesday, Wednesday. Could be, Monday through Saturday. Who knows? In the evening. But regardless, once again, thanks everyone for showing up. Third time I said that. Gotta be concise. Thanks everyone for showing up. And I'll see all of y'all next time. Thank you once again. Yeah. Thank you once again. This was fun. We'll do this again sometime very soon. See ya.